You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.
All right, we're back. Hopefully we got the sound turned up right, because we're talking during the show sometimes, and sometimes we don't know what's going on out there. But Jay Lott's on here from Napa Auto Parts. Now, Jay, we were talking about wiper blades. There's a lot of people that don't realize their wiper blades have problems till they turn on their wiper blades after one of these storms, and they can't see where they're going. Now, what are you seeing about wiper blades? How long they last? I mean, what is your personal observation about wiper blades?
Well, I mean, again, everybody has their opinion. I would say that in this climate, that at least once a year they should replace their wiper blade just because of the heat.
Correct.
And because of the rain. And in some cases, if you're driving like we are, like out making deliveries, and we're more prone to be using wipers more frequently if you're out running route, that type of stuff. We can wear wiper blades out in 6 months pretty easy.
And that seems to be the average. It's about 6 months, what I'm reading nationwide. Now, the new blades we're talking about, the Evolution blades, I think they're made by, who are they made by? I'm trying to
Bosch.
Bosch. They are, and that's the biggest design change I think I've seen in probably 30 years in wiper blades. It used to be where we just did refills on them, and then we went to where we just changed the whole wiper blade assembly. That was the big change. And now we've gone to where we changed the wiper blade assembly, but instead of having 6 or 8 contact points, we just have one even contact point that does a much better job of cleaning a window off without streaking.
Yep, and they're a little bit more money, and I don't know if they're more durable, but we do know that customers are more satisfied with those wipers, even though they're a little more expensive.
Well, I think
like
they are.
Anything else, you get what you pay for.
And they are, and they're much more durable. What I've seen, now my wife may disagree with me, but I think she will say that they seem to last about a year. Is that what we're seeing, Anna Marie?
Well, now mine are not bad, and they've been on about a year and a half. But I park my car in a garage, so I think a lot of that has to do with how much sun is the windshield actually getting.
And that's one of the points I'm glad you brought up.
But they are amazing. We have customers all the time that say, "Oh, I love these wiper blades," and they do seem to last longer. I'm not going to say they last twice as long, but they do seem to last longer than the conventional ones that we did, 5 years ago.
Well, here's some tips, Jay, that if you want to keep your wiper blades lasting longer, clean your windshield every time you fill up with gas. That's one of the reasons they have those little things out there you wash your windshield off. If people would scrape the bugs off and they would do that, believe it or not, your wipers would last a lot longer. That's a couple of tips.
It does wear the rubber on the wiper off while you've got abrasives or in this case, bugs, which we do have a lot of those.
Yeah, we do. And love bug season is right around the corner. Yeah.
And the salt, if you live, the closer you live to the beach, the more contaminants you're going to have, just from the sand.
Well, and that's so true. Dirt, grease, and grime particles or bugs, they can do that. Wiper blade's a square edge wiper blade, but what happens is that square edge gets knocked down and it becomes a round edge, and that's what streaks or smears your windshield. That's one of the reasons. And it's very, very important. And the other thing, occasionally we get frost down here, and people don't know how to act. And when you turn your wiper blades on to clear the frost off, that's almost a kiss of death.
It
really is.
We've seen them rip apart by doing that.
So we gave some pretty good advice to some people out there about wiper blades out there, and I do recommend the Evolution blades out there, or whatever the brand. It's a one arm, and I know y'all carry the Bosch brand. I know they're probably about 20% more in price than the other ones. Right. They do work extremely well.
And us, along with obviously shops like yourself, we'll put the wipers on for you. So if you're just if you're in an emergency and you're not getting your car maintenance, which you should do, you come by, we'll be glad to help customers out, and it takes us 2 or 3 minutes to do it, and it might take them an hour because we're used to doing it.
Oh, tell me, it will. I've had people come in and they say, I tell them they need wiper blades. Well, I say, I'll do it myself. Well, I see them a week later and they sheepishly come in here and they got a big scratch in their window now, or the wiper blade's all mangled. And I go, what happened? They go, well, I thought I could get it off, but I couldn't get it off. And when I did get it off, it fell down and hit and it cracked the window. And I'm going, oh boy. But if they just, I think the book gives 2/10 of an hour to change wiper blades, if I'm not mistaken. So if you go, so most shops will charge a little bit to put them in there. But the thing is, if you'll do them for free, that's a good $10, $15 value right there. It really is. If you take it to a shop and they have to charge you, because it does take some talent, trust me, to put wiper blades on there. And I have seen people do a lot of damage trying
and
to put
some are easier than others.
Oh, yeah.
Get into a situation where we even get frustrated with it. So we recommend you take it to a shop and let them maintenance that and check your reservoir for your fluids that help clean the windshield, the -20, the blue juice.
That's right. Now, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, I am seeing this stuff, people put the blue stuff in there, and over a period of time, if they don't change it or use it, it starts to grow stuff inside it. Looks like white sheets of scum. I don't know what that stuff is, but I think, well, water will do the same thing, not just the blue stuff, but something about if you leave that stuff in there a long time, it really should be changed yearly.
It's probably bacteria.
And it probably is bacteria. It probably
and people should use it. That's why you have it in your reservoir, so that you can keep your windshields cleaner. So if you hit a bug, don't be afraid to turn the sprayer on, because that's what you have it in there for. And the stuff is relatively inexpensive.
Now, what I use a lot of, because I'm all the time when cars come in here, we look at their windshield washer fluid and we see the blue stuff in there, and people, I don't know what it is. It looks, they don't use it apparently, and it gets nasty or clogs up, whatever. We'll take a water hose and put right inside there, and we'll flush out the system. We'll just flush it out with just water, let it boil out while we're doing some work on the car, and it just kind of flushes out. Then we'll take our super sucker and we'll suck all the water out of it that we kind of flushed out. We get all the water out, and then we'll add distilled water and 1 cap full of ammonia, and that's all we'll do. And that seems, it does a good job, but it takes wax off. That's the bad part. It takes the wax. If someone waxes their car, polishes the car, it can take the wax off.
Yeah.
And that's the only drawback about using ammonia. But I don't know. Now, the other stuff you have, does it have a lower freezing point for winter, the blue stuff?
Yeah, it would be if you were here and you wanted to put that in your reservoir, and you didn't use it as frequently as they should, and get into the October, November, and you go to Chicago, then you're more likely not to have frozen solvent in your reservoir, and could crack the reservoir.
And it will do that.
Do that damage. So, I think it's rated to 30 degrees below.
Wow.
And I'm not planning on driving anywhere that cold, but some people from here do.
I'm not going to go any further north than probably
Atlanta.
Cottondale. That's about it for me. Cottondale's about it for me. But Jay, anyway, what are we going to use for our magic word for get 10% discount? Because I know that's how we let
Well, we're
people...
going back to school. I know we used that a couple weeks ago. Let's keep that. And
all right.
We'll change it.
All right, back to school is what we're going to be using for our 10% off. Jay Lott, thank you so much for calling from Napa Auto Parts. If y'all have a question about a part or a question about maybe who can do certain service work in our town, give them a call at 785-4341. If you say, you're from out of town, you say, where can I take a car to? Give them a call. They know who's open on Saturday. They know who's open, who does certain kinds of work throughout the week. There are some shops that do really good on maintenance. There are some shops that do really good on heavy engine work, and some shops that work on trucks and motorhomes. So they know who it is. And Jay, you've been doing this for a long time now, and you just about know where everybody is, I think.
Yes, I know all the back roads.
You know all the... All right, thank you so much for calling, Jay. We'll talk to you next week then. All right, this is James Boyce. If you got a car question, give us a call at 850-763-0555. We talked about wiper blades, and one of the things that we did just briefly touch on was how to keep them clean. Keeping your windshield clean is something that doesn't take a lot of effort. Every place you go, believe it or not, you've just never noticed it probably, unless you got love bugs all over your windshield. They have something to wash your windshield off. It's the handle with one side. You can it's a squeegee on one side, and it's a kind of like a soft pad on the other side to scrape the bugs off. If you would do that every time you fill it up with gas, whether you had bugs or not, just by doing that, you'll remove a lot of the sand, the grit, the salt, the things that make your wiper blades die a premature death. And so that's a good way to keep them from losing that square edge, because if you've ever looked at a squeegee, they're square edged. They're like a square cut rubber, and that's what makes it clean the glass off. If you lose that square cut and it becomes round, then it kind of skips and streaks over it. The same thing happens to your wiper blades. So by doing that, you'll make your wiper blades last longer. The other little trick I can think of is when you do if you can ever think about it, take, those little wet wipes that you get from when you go wash your, when you go out fast food, like Kentucky Fried Chicken used to have years ago, those little towelettes. Those are fantastic for cleaning wiper blades. They really, really are. If every time, about once a month, you actually take your wiper blade and just take out one of those little moist towelettes and just wipe the bottom of it, it'll remove all the dirt, grease, and grime and dead rubber that's gotten oxidized from the sun, and it kind of keeps, and it's got enough. These towelettes have moisturizing agents in it to make sure your skin stays nice and supple. Well, they do a pretty good job of keeping the wiper blades themselves soft and supple. And that's what happens. Wiper blades get old, they get hard, they get torn, and they tear from getting hard. That's what happens. So by keeping them clean, keeping your windshield clean, your wiper blades last a lot longer, and you'll be a lot happier. And try those Evolution blades out there that he has at Napa Auto Parts. We'll be right back. Give us a call, 785-4341, with your automotive question.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.